Praise the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everybody that's here in the name of Jesus. We're going to get into today's lesson. And to us, most people that's been around a little bit, it's a basic lesson. But to the average person in the world, it's like Jesus said. Jesus said he came and spoke in parables to people. And the parables are basic to people who really want to know the truth. But to those that don't care to know the truth, the parable is a riddle they can't figure out. That's what Jesus said. He said, I speak in parables because that the people that don't want to see, they're not going to see. So that's the way this lesson is. It's a parable to the average person who just don't want to recognize what the Lord has planned. And when you talk about the Sabbath day, that's why we here today. It's one of the biggest parts of God's plan in the Bible. One of the biggest parts of God's plan. But it just shows you how bent Satan is to get people off track in doing God's will. It just shows you that, because this is one of the biggest parts of God's plan, and to show you that God even put it right in the middle of his 10 commandments. But yet, Satan has come up with a way to convince people that they don't have to observe this day. And they got all kind of cliches and statements to say why we don't have to keep the seventh day holy anymore. They got all kind of reasoning to say. Some just outright say, well, we really don't know what day is what, so it don't matter. Whereas mighty funny, you don't know what day is what, but you manage to make it to church every Sunday. You know what day that is, and you make it to church on that day. Because it's not a question of not knowing what day is what. That's not even the spiel that some of the so-called scholars and some of the big religious leaders will give you. They won't even tell you that story. They will admit that we know what day is what. We know Saturday is the seventh day. We know Sunday is the first day. But they try to claim that it changed from the seventh day to the first day. That's the argument that they will give you. They won't try to give you the weak argument about we don't know what day is what. That's something a novice will come up with in a minute, off the top of his mind. Well, you can't figure out what day is what. Mm-hmm. Look, you only got 7 days. Count the 7. It's evidence on even the calendars that we have. It's evidence. Even if you just look it up in a plain old dictionary, it's going to tell you what day is what. So if you just went by that, you couldn't go wrong. It tells you. They're not trying to hide that from you. Saturday is the 7th day. Sunday is the first day. They're not trying to deceive you on that. The deception come in where they say where it changed because Jesus rose on the first day of the week, which we know is absolutely false. It didn't change, plus Jesus didn't rise on that day anyway. So it's just one lie on top of another to get you out of this magnificent plan that God has.